wedge shots, 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards in front of the green. I get lots of questions from students on how to hit these, how to hit them cleanly, and how to land the ball nice and soft on the green. So we're going to talk about that today. I've got 3 shots lined up at those distances to show you, and I have my 58-degree wedge. There's other options, but I like a club that has a little bit of bounce to it, because when you have a tight lie, you're hitting it right off the fairway to get it onto the green. We definitely want to use the bounce sole of the club to help us glide that club right along the grass with a nice thump. So there's a difference in hitting down on the grass with the leading edge, which would cause us to dig and really create too much of a divot, and then coming in steeply but with the bounce sole, so we get a thumping sound and a nice bouncing action of the club and the very bottom back trailing edge of the sole hitting the ground as we just slide right under the ball. So we are going to be looking for that in terms of club to ground to ball contact. We want to leave a nice little mark on the ground, but we don't really want to take a huge divot on these shots. So that's what you're looking for when you take your practice swings, and after you hit the ball, what should remain in the grass. As far as the swing goes on all of these, the size of my swing is going to get progressively bigger, but the rhythm of my swing should stay the same. The rhythm is very lazy. It's sort of back and through, or tick tock. 1, 2, 3. It's not a rushed swing. It's very sort of smooth, rhythmic, even a little lazy feeling. Also, my body is turning on these shots. There's not a lot of wind up. It's more of sort of an arm swing going back, but definitely the chest and the hips pivot through so that we can release our body to the target. And that allows us to keep our hands very quiet. If my body was to stay too steady and my arms pass through, I'm going to get a flipping action, which we don't want either. Those cause bladed shots and low left shots a lot of times if we really let the club and the hands turn over too much. So we actually want to keep the club face really square to even open feeling as we come through. A lot of times when I try to describe the way the shot feels to students, I tell them to think about an underhand toss. So if you imagine you're going to toss a ball with your throwing hand, in this case my right hand, I would definitely use my body. If I was going to do it from a side-on perspective, of course I would face the target, but I definitely would want to keep my palm facing where I want to throw it. So I wouldn't be twisting my hand over. This is a very slow swing in terms of club head speed, because it's not a big swing and it's not a fast swing. So the ball is really staying on the club face for a good amount of time. So any dramatic twisting or flipping that's going on is really going to affect the shape of the shot, the trajectory, and your accuracy. So keep your hands kind of quiet feeling and let your body do more of the work. That way you can continue to accelerate through the shot without decelerating, and at the same time keep your hands quiet so that they don't fire through on the ball too much. So I'm going to go ahead and set up. I'm going to keep my body relatively square, but I want my stance to be staggered just a little bit open, so my left toe is just a few inches back of my right. Notice how narrow my stance is as well. I don't like a wide stance on any of these distances for my approach wedges. So I'm going to grip probably up to the top of the grip, between the top of the grip and somewhere a few inches down, depending on how I'm feeling about the shot. I definitely think gripping down is a good choice because it softens the feel of the shot and really allows me to keep my club head speed nice and controlled. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this first one here. That was perfect. I have a nice little small divot mark, but it's really just very minimal, very shallow. I'm going to go ahead and hit the next 2 shots for you and show you my divot as well.